like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated.
Hello, Thousand Road subscribers and followers. Well, you know what today is, don't you? Yep, that's right. It's Friday. You know what that means, don't you? Yep, it's Easy 5 Friday. And today's topic is 5 safety precautions that I take towing a trailer, towing a pop-up. And this is based on someone's question, and I wish I had the opportunity to actually hook this thing up and tow it for you so I could get some footage of it, but I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to wing it, sitting here talking to you about it. So let's get started. Number 1, tires. Okay, there are all kinds of people in the Facebook groups talk all kinds of things about tires and different things. So here's my plan with tires. Step 1. I checked with the manufacturer of my tire, and they said to air it up to the PSI that is indicated on the sidewall of the tire. In this case, it's 80 PSI. So I keep it at 80 PSI. And you're supposed to do this when the tire is cool. I check the tires every time I stop. Check the tire pressure every time I stop. Now, of course, the tire pressure is going to be a little higher because now the tires are warmer. So if you were at 80 and you've been driving, they may be at 85. The key is not to get under pressure. According to the manufacturer, if it's under pressure, under the 80 PSI, you cannot carry as much weight. So, I mean, I don't know what the math is or anything, but, you know, we do have this thing pretty weighted up. So I want to make sure that the tires are capable of carrying everything that they indicate they can carry. The other thing I do is every time I stop, I check to make sure the tread is looking okay, there's no uneven wear or anything, and I recognize it won't wear that fast, but you never know. I might have hit a curb and move the axle out of alignment or something, wasn't even aware of it, or hit a bump, and then the tire is going to wear unevenly. I want to check for all of that. The one thing I don't want to happen is that tire blowout and all those things go inside the camper, busting everything up, or flipping the camper, which I'm not sure is possible, but if it does, boy, I'm sure I'd be the one that had to get to show everybody a video of that. So I always check the tires. Check them all the time, constantly check them. And lastly, when you're not driving, check for dry rot. You don't want the tires all crackly on the side. They're not going to hold up. Dad had brand new tires on. He said he never moved the trailer because he was, you know, campsite host, manager or whatever. So he'd been there for 4 years, brand new tires. And he said, and then a hurricane was coming, so he had to move. And he said the tires look bad. I don't know if I'm going to make it. He drove it 100 miles. 2 of the tires had a blowout. So that dry rot really does affect it. Number 2, hooking up the trailer. Now this one, I thought of myself. I've never heard anybody say it. When I lower the trailer hitch down onto the ball of the truck, I latch it, and then I reel it back up with the trailer jack, raise it back up, and I want to see that truck to lift up a little bit. Now don't put a lot of weight on it because you might break your trailer jack, but you just want to see if that truck will lift up. And the reason I say this is that ball and that hitch wear. It's metal on metal. Put grease on it. Put grease on your ball, on the truck ball. Make sure you have a good heavy grease on it, but that can wear. And the reason I know this is when I was a lot younger, I had a trailer, and I'm driving down the road, and it just popped off. Just popped off. I wasn't going very fast. The trailer went down in the ditch. Anyway, when I got the trailer back, I noticed it just came right up. I would latch it, and I could pull it up off the ball. Just a hard enough jerk. So it had wore. So what I'm trying to determine when I raise the trailer back up and I see that truck lifting up a little bit, I know that the hitch is solid on that ball. So that's what I check for. The other thing while you're hitching up, check your chain. Look at the chain. Make sure there's no cracks or that it hasn't rubbed the ground and wore and you got a thin link there. If that trailer does release, you want that chain to be able to grab it. So make sure there's no wearing. And I've seen this a lot. I see trailers all the time on the road shooting out sparks because their chain's hitting the ground. So check that. Number 3, and I don't know why I'm so paranoid about this. Apparently a lot of people are not. But I check my lights. Every time I stop, well, when I hook the lights up, I check all the lights. Every runner light, brake light, blinker, tail lights, all of them. I check all the lights. But I also do that every time I stop. I do have an older trailer, and I have a couple bulbs that like to wiggle loose and different things, and I've been trying to replace them with LEDs. But for some reason, I just really want to make sure that all the lights are working. I run down the road with lights on, day or night. I always have them on. I feel like it's safer to run them. And so as a result, I want to make sure all the lights are working. Number 4, speed. I have seen people with huge fifth wheels. It's 80 miles an hour down the road. Okay, I'm in a pop-up camper. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if 80 miles an hour is a good idea. That's what I'm trying to say. Here's what I'm trying to say. Is these little tires on this little camper are probably spinning 3 times as fast, 4 times as fast as the tires on your truck. So if you're doing 80 miles an hour and your truck's tires are doing, 2,000 RPMs, that means these are doing what, 6,000, 8,000 RPMs? I'm using hypothetical numbers. I have no idea how fast they rotate. Imagine the heat and the friction and the wear and everything you're putting on those tires. So when I drive down the road, I do 65 miles an hour. No matter what the speed limit is, I do 65 miles an hour on the highway. Or 55 or 50 or whatever the speed limit is. But 65 is the max I will go. I just don't feel comfortable going any faster. That also is, if I do have a tire problem, I'm going to be able to react a little bit quicker than if I'm doing 70, 75. So, I don't know. I just like doing 65 miles an hour. Number 5. I do not get into the fast lane on the highway. I stay in the right lane. So if there's a 4-lane highway, I stay in the right lane. And if someone's coming in on the ramp, I don't get over. What I try to do is adjust my speed so they can get on without me having to get over. I don't feel like it's a good idea to be coming in and out of traffic with a trailer. You never know. There might be somebody there that you can't see, and you come over and you hit them. So I just try to stay in the right lane. Now, if it's a 3-lane, multiple lanes, so 6, 8 lanes, whatever you want to call it, and there's 3 lanes on your whatever side you're on, I don't get in the right lane just so I don't have to adjust my speed when people are entering the highway. I stay in the middle lane. Stay right in the middle lane, 65 miles an hour. That gives people on the right-hand side, the ability to come in and off the highway, and people can still pass me on the left. I just don't think everybody needs to be coming swerving in and out of traffic. I see a lot of people do that. Look, the truckers, they're trained. They're trained to do that. I'm not. I'm just owning a little trailer. There's no reason, and I'm never in that big of a hurry. There's no reason to be in a hurry. You're on your adventure. So enjoy the adventure. Stop and smell the roses, I always say. So anyway, that is the 5 safety precautions I take with my towing my camper. So hope that helps. I hope that answers the question. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And